welcome. I think I am now live. Welcome to episode 4. It's Wednesday, it's 12 o'clock, and episode 4 of Warrior Wealth Wednesday, which is all about step 3 of the 10 steps to wealth I'm sharing. And step 3 is the magical formula for time and money freedom. So I'm your host, Fiona Jean, Purposeful Warrior, and my passion is to lead and to teach others, share my experience and wisdom so you can create generational wealth for you, your loved ones. And it's really the dollars, if you will, that live on after we've gone. So I want to poke the bear, speak my truth, and whatever it is that I know I've learned and experienced in the world through wealth creation, through working with one of my mentors, Counsel. So grab your conscious cuppa. I have a choice today. I've got my beautiful kombucha and also a little bit of a cold jasmine tea. If you're live, please say hello. Let me know where you're coming from. Otherwise, #replay. And I suggest, you also like and follow this, the Purposeful Warrior page. Turn on notifications, and then you get to know when I'm live if you're enjoying the content, which I hope that you are. And more importantly, that will give you access to download the free workbooks and things that myself and the team have lovingly created for you to be able to facilitate with you the action that you need to take. Because if you've missed the earlier steps, again, just comment help in the comments here, and the team or I'll get back to you and let you know where the replays are, or you can look for us on the YouTube channel, Fiona Jean, a Purposeful Warrior. So let's get into it. Awakening Wealth, step 3 is all about the magical formula for time and money freedom. And as Zig Ziglar says, what you get by achieving your goals is not as important as what you become by achieving your goals. Who gets that? It's one of my favorite quotes, actually. And now that you've begun, I'm sure the importance of to understand, if you like, the importance of switching your thinking, from, like we talked about last week, from employee to entrepreneur, and going through the step 2 in the ebook, you probably find that things are coming at you so fast and perhaps you're feeling a little bit overwhelmed. I just want to say that if this happens, just take your time, work through things at your own pace, and trust that everything you need exists in the minds of those who've already had this success, in the journey before you. And it exists in the knowledge of successful people. It exists in their books, in their wisdom, in their support networks. It's there for you to access when you're ready. So step 3 is this magical formula that we're going to talk about is really about taking control of your information gathering and actions. It's important to remember that you're not in control of your own outcome. That if you're not in control of your own outcome, then the outcomes are being controlled by what's been imprinted, the conditioning, your habits, your enculturation, your enmeshment, to your family, your society, the beliefs and things of others. And if that's happening, the mechanisms for control are so subtle that most people never notice them until they're too late. And that's why I'm here, to help you to see those. However, there's always 2 choices. You can choose to do certain things or not to do those things. Like I said, I'm not FGTV. If you're choosing to sit here and be passive and not take action, then please don't. Go and enjoy. I'd much prefer you to go outside, enjoy this beautiful weather. That's here in Australia. We have beautiful weather. To go and nurture yourself in the garden, sit and get some vitamin D, have a walk. Don't just waste your time being passive watching me. You choose to do certain things or not do them. You choose to grow or not to grow. You choose to learn or not to learn. You choose to go or not to go. You choose to be wealthy or you choose to continue surrendering your potential. Again, it's your choice. You are empowered to make your own choices. Notwithstanding the 2 choices above that we've talked about, the majority of people seeking and see and do use a 3rd choice. I'm sure you can guess what it can be. Perhaps you'd like to pop a comment in the box. What do you think it would be? The third choice. Maybe. Interesting, right? There's a multitude of reasoning skills to justify maybe. You know, many people speak about things that are hard for them because the circumstances are different. And it's all very well, you know, for you to talk about wealth because you're lucky, you know, or, you know, you just, things come easily to you and they don't to me. These are examples of common beliefs. Understanding that while your circumstances may be different than perhaps Paul's were, which is obviously the, you know, the original author of this work, and mine, the actions you must take are still the same. The ones that he took and the ones that I've taken. Simply deciding to control our future rather than have it controlled by external factors. As long as you're taking some form of action, guys, it's okay. The notion of maybe, what do you think that represents? Inaction, right? Inaction. And maybe never gets you anywhere. It really doesn't. You are the only person who can leave your maybe status behind. I can't do it. Paul can't do it. Your neighbors can't do it. Your partner can't do it. It's down to you. You need to do it for yourself. So if you're going to drop the maybes and you're going to make a decision to yes or no, to do something or not to do something, then that's a cleaner honesty with yourself. To actually say, actually, no, I'm not ready for that right now. I'm not doing it. Or yes, I'm going to do it. I'm going to give it a try. And if I fail, I'm going to learn. I'm going to make mistakes. I'm going to learn and I'm going to fail forward. That's what successing is in life. It's all about that way to fail forward. So who's with me? Who's going to leave their maybe status behind? Drop a comment in the box, guys, if you're watching the replay. Successful people know that mommy doesn't have legs. You know, it doesn't grow on trees, and it doesn't come to them. You have to go and get it. This is what we do. We have to go out and get the money. We have to find the money and, you know, be resourceful in ways of securing it and the action that we take. So successful people are action orientated, doing. I will keep repeating this. We're doing people. It's called successing. Success is something that we wish for, we hope for, we think that will perhaps come and knock on our door and turn up one day. However, when we're successing, we're actively taking a role and participating in our own success. Because they apply, you know, if you like, successful people, you know, more I study, they actually apply action as well as to well thought out strategies. Even if they get things wrong for a bit, it's still okay because they learn from their mistakes and they move on. I did something recently in a venture that I'm in, and yes, it might not have been the best strategy. I thought it was at the time, but then having talked to people who are all more advanced and understand these things more, I realized the mistakes. But it's okay. I accept the mistakes that I've perhaps made, and I've learned from them, and I'm moving forward and, you know, restructuring, re-strategizing. So not getting it first time allows us to start off again, you know, with one less thing that we can get wrong, right? You know, we're already ahead of the game. We've learned a lesson. We've embodied some more knowledge, and we've actually created a doingness. So it now becomes an experience that we've had. It's not just a knowledge or a fact that we've learned or read in a book or heard someone say. And when we do this, we're off, you know, we start off again with a greater awareness, more knowledge, more informed choices, and actually an improved self-efficacy. You know, we know better for ourselves. We have more confidence in that particular process. Because most people feel failure, and as a result, they actually do nothing. And that makes my heart sad. It does. It makes my heart sad because they sit and they do nothing. But the best way really to overcome fear of failure is to have a go. Isn't there a famous Australian tradition, right? You know, have a go, mate. You know, all these sorts. I can't do it in Aussie accent. I'm sure, you know, if you want to send me a little recording or something, if you're saying that in your Aussie accent, if you're watching us here from Australia, you know, please do. And I'm sure, you know, my fellow American colleagues and clients will have something in their environment. You know, so I'd love to see what the famous traditional words are in your area around having a go and doing something that's worth failing for. Because if you're not ready yet to go after your wealth, or to have time, or after time and money freedom, if that's not what you're ready, it's okay to say, I'm not ready yet, and then take action to get more information to fill in the blanks that you have. Because sometimes what stops us from going forward is we feel that we don't know everything, we don't have enough information. And while information gathering is, it's a big block, and you'll come to understand that the more we go through these steps. If that's where you are right now, then take some action just to read and assimilate this information, so you can then start taking more doing action rather than collecting action. Does that make sense? I hope so. If it doesn't, shout out, let me know, and we'll go through it again. So, because as long as you're taking some form of action, it is okay. The notion of maybe represents inaction. So maybe never gets you anywhere. Do you see that? That's why I'm saying commit to drop the maybe. You're either in or you're out. You're going to do or you're not doing. It's like wipe on, wipe off. Wipe on, wipe off. I forget who that was. The Karate Kid movie, right? Doing something, make sure that you do everything you need in order to succeed. You keep going until the job's done. So like, to knowledge, you have to add action or application. You have to convert knowledge into experience, like I said before, right? Through either trial and error or under the guidance of, other expert mentors, guides, coaches, whoever it is that you're resonating with. Under their guidance, you can also turn that knowledge into action or application. To believe in something, to really have the true belief, you must start doing this. Because without doing this, nothing changes. You might believe that you're going to be wealthy, and that's a fantastic belief to have. But if you don't do anything about it, if you're not going to, pick up your pen and paper and write out your goals or do everything, that you need to do, doing this is the most important ingredient. It really is in the quest for money mastery and financial independence, time and money freedom. There's no magic pill here, guys. We say this every week. There's no magic pill. The doing this, you must add time. The most powerful wealth creation ingredient of all, time. It either works for you or it works against you. There's no middle ground. By far the reason most people don't succeed is because they fail to convert knowledge into action. They have no doingness. Creating wealth is a skill. It's a skill, and all skills are gained by doing. This is part of the magic formula. Are you excited? There's no middle ground. The middle ground becomes a vacuum. One of the reasons, if you like, why the majority never achieve wealth, I believe it's because they seek the middle ground, the space between action and inaction. That maybe is the middle ground, right? So for me, there's no middle ground anymore. It's a vacuum. It's like suspended animation. It's but it's like that time, if I'm in I'm not saying never happens to me, it does. But if I'm in that vacuum, that's my like Netflix binge, or that's my, time out, whatever it happens to be. Do you think, oh, enough, go, and I go and do something? That's my vacuum. It's like, like I said, that suspended animation, and because yet in reality, it's where the majority of people prefer to camp. They spend so much time resting and taking in the view that they fail to recognize that time's always depleting and passing them by. You're either doing one thing or the other. For every action, there's always an opposite and equal reaction, right? There's no status. There's no, it's like there's no, what you call it, that status. I think it's status. I can't remember. My mind has not found the word. I think you know what I mean. It's that space in between. Camping in the middle ground is like really trying to cram yourself into the middle let's say a coin, right? You're trying to cram yourself into that middle of the coin to recognize that there's only enough space in there to keep the two sides apart. There's not enough room in the middle for you to squeeze in there too, right? If you're in control, if you're not in control, rather, then you're being controlled. So like I said, again, two choices, right? You either decide to be a winner or you surrender your potential to the possibility of being a winner. You decide to be wealthy or you surrender your potential to be wealthy. One choice is to become the hero of your own story. The other is to remain the victim of someone else's. So what do you choose? Tell me, guys, comment in the comments. Because if you're taking time to be here with me and to watch this series and to download the books and to read the books, it demonstrates to me that you are actually a person of action. So again, I want to congratulate you. Let me celebrate with you. It's sadly, though, most people choose inaction. And if you're surrounded by such people, then you really need a more productive reference group, like a better group of people to hang around with. Because people who wait for money, to come to them, what do they say? What do you think? What sort of things they say? Money's made to go around, perhaps? They protest and, wave the unfairness banner by calling society out or the government, or, there's not enough handouts for this, that, and the other, and everybody else that they could think of to provide for their financial needs. Well, stop it. Stop it. Provide for yourself. Especially in the world that we're in at the moment, guys. It's so important. I believe personally, the world as we know it in terms of the financial world will crash, will end, within the next 12 months. That's my personal belief. And now there's no better time than right now in this moment to start taking control of your own finances. Set up a self-managed super fund. Have control over where your money is, how it's invested, what it's going into. Take back your own sovereignty. And if you want help with any of this stuff, please, please, please let me know. Reach out. And, I can help you. I can connect you with the right people. We have a team here that works together to help others, because when one boat rises, we all rise together. This is what this being the warrior way is all about. It's connecting back with your own purpose, taking back your own legacy, your own generational wealth, not leaving it at the mercy of governments and industrial super funds in shares and stocks and bonds, which perhaps, quite frankly, won't be here very much longer. You may not agree with me, and that's perfectly fine too. I'm not here to please. I'm here to speak my truth, to share what I know, what I've experienced, and that's it. Because a lot of people think that the longer they wait for money to come their way, people know that it doesn't have legs, right? Like I said before, it doesn't grow on trees, it doesn't come to them. And successful people say, my mentor said to me, money's made flat to stack. You've got to go out and get it. Successful people are action oriented. Again, they're doing, they're successing. And even if they get it wrong, it's still okay because they learn and they move on, right? But they ultimately believe in what they're doing, and they know that if they keep going, they will succeed. Because remember, success is emergent. It's a successing, it's the doing action. Things have to emerge from there, right? It's going to happen. They know that failure is not about something wrong or not getting it right the first time. That successing is about mistakes. It's a lack of skill. It's not failure. And not getting it right first time allows us to start off again with one less thing, to get wrong. Start off with, like I said before, greater awareness, greater knowledge, more informed choices. All these things are very, very important. The best way to overcome the fear of failure really is to have a goal. It really is. If that's something that's stopping you, it's about having a goal. And like I said before, it's like in Australia, have a goal, mate. That's a bit of more of an Aussie accent for you. And more importantly, keep going until the job's done. Start off with a greater awareness. Learn your lessons and move forward, if you like, using the formula for success. So I'm going to quickly go through the formula for success, and it's more detailed in the ebook, you know, when you read about it in full. But so it's 4 levels, if you like, and the bottom level is really where we get to the magic. But we start off with knowledge. So knowledge that we assimilate and we accumulate over time equals potential, right? It equals a potential, because we're more informed, we're more aware than we were before. Knowledge plus experience, which means we've done something with the knowledge that we've accumulated, and a belief that we can do something, we can be something, we can have something, equals power. So we shift from potential to power by taking action and believing in the knowledge we're assimilating. That's the second level. The third level is again building on the knowledge, the experience, and the belief, and adding the doingness. So when we take the knowledge that we have, when we build experience by doing a couple of things, and we have this belief, and then we actively have a plan, and we start to move forward to that with the doingness, that equals change. So we move now from potential, then from the power to do something, to actually starting to see change, which is a wonderful step to be. And I think a lot of you that are following this are probably already at the change level, you know, where you're starting to do things and to realize taking responsibility and dropping the maybe and going for the other 2 choices of either do or don't do only. Then we avoid the inaction, we avoid the procrastination and the overwhelm. So the magic formula in its entirety, guys, is actually knowledge plus experience plus belief and plus doingness. And the last ingredient, the secret sauce, is time. And that is success. Because it's okay having all of these things and experiencing the change, but if we don't add the time aspect into this and manage the time properly, we won't get the success that we deserve. Talking about time, if you're struggling with time, then join me back here at 3 o'clock today. I'm doing the Inspired to Thrive live session as well myself today, this week. I'm going to be talking to you about you-based time management, the warrior way. And this is really a game changer for me, to move me from that change cycle to the success cycle. So I encourage you to write this formula on a card and carry it with you. So remember, it's knowledge plus experience plus belief plus doingness plus time equals success. Remind yourself every day, read it every day, remind yourself each and every day of every ingredient and its importance, and master each ingredient. And ask yourself, in a way, when you read the card, what am I doing today to move forward toward my goals? What am I doing? Because what really interests me about people is what they're prepared to do moving forward. Are you the type of person that learns from history and moves forward? Perhaps. Or are you the type of person that lets history hold you back? Perhaps. And are you trying to navigate your life by perhaps focusing in the rearview mirror? If things are hard for you right now, what interests me is, what are you going to do about it? What are you going to do about how hard things are right now? What are you going to do about it? I encourage you to sit with your conscious cuppa, your kombucha, whatever it happens to be, in the sunshine, in the cold, with a rug, a jacket, a scarf, a hat, whatever it is, with your journal and your pen, and ask yourself that question. If things are difficult for you right now, what are you going to do about how difficult things are? Get honest with yourself. Be real and raw. Get it all out on the paper. So I'm going to leave it there. This session's a little shorter than the others. I'll invite you to download the workbook. And next week in step 4, we're going to start talking about why being poor is actually learned behavior. And I think that will be a good one for me to really get in and poke that bear. So I'm looking forward to connecting with you next week and seeing you on that show. So until then, remember, please remember, be your own wealth guru. Do whatever it takes. Download the workbook. Go and watch the replays of step 1 and 2. Watch this step 3 again. Download them. Get the audios. Listen to them in your ears over and over again. The more that you listen to these words and that you assimilate the knowledge, the better your chances are at achieving the success that you truly deserve. It's your birthright. Wealth is your birthright. You were born with it. It belongs to you. Is it time to take it back? I hope so. See you next week. Bye-bye from me.